everybody. I'm Len Fridman. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Wellness Living. Welcome to another edition of the CEO Tour. Today we have a really special guest by the name of Bristol. She's coming from Jala Yoga Studio and Art. And
Yes.
It's really unique because you guys are offering yoga, but there's also an art component to it. So I'm really curious to hear your story and how you got started. Bristol, tell us.
Sure. So Jala means water, and we're in Providence, Rhode Island, right by the rivers behind me. Sorry you can't see it, but it's beautiful. And I have an art history background. So when I moved here, I really wanted to open a yoga studio, but I also didn't want to kind of stop being in the art world. So we are a yoga studio that also is a gallery. So we have about 4 shows a year featuring the work of local artists. And most often the artists are also yogis. And so we're not usually showing work that's overtly about yoga, but it's usually about like consciousness and awareness. And our current show is featuring very geometric works, abstract contemporary works.
Cool.
Yeah.
And tell us about how you got started in yoga. What was it about yoga that really got you hooked and then later on to open up your own studio?
So I started practicing yoga in high school, and I just really loved how for an hour and a half my mind would settle and I could really just connect to my breath and move. And so I kept practicing yoga. And when I was in college, I went to Yale, and there's a yoga club there. And so I became the president of the yoga club.
Cool.
And so I did Jiva Mukti teacher training in order to be able to teach yoga for free to everyone at Yale. And so I took the training and I loved it, and I've been teaching since then, so since 2005.
So you had like a long-standing sort of passion with yoga. Was there anyone in particular that kind of introduced you to it, or how did you kind of fall into it?
So when I was in high school, we were actually weirdly like an amazing track team. Like we were the best in the state, and I got really injured. And my coach said, "You can't run, so go to this, I've heard about this yoga thing." And I'm from Cape Cod, which is this really small area, and it was really weird. There was a yoga studio 1 mile from my house. And so I went there and I really liked it. And then when I went to Yale, I met one of my friends and teachers, Jessica Kung, who is a Jiva Mukti teacher, and she introduced me to Jiva Mukti, and I just loved it.
Wow.
So I've been practicing that since then.
That's so cool. Because yoga has like just so many benefits, not only like physically, but also mentally. Talk us through a little bit of those.
So, I mean, as you've said, the benefits are really countless. And so I feel like most people have a similar story to me, that they started because they wanted some physical benefits. And then hopefully they very quickly find that the mental benefits are immense, right? And your mind settles and you get a better ability to focus on things, and you reduce a lot of stress. You know, if you are constantly thinking about your to-do list and where you could go, it's like your yoga practice, you have to focus on your breath bandhas or your drishti. And so you get this break from the obsessive turning of your mind. There's also spiritual benefits. You know, you really connect to the spaciousness and expansiveness within yourself and recognize that in others, and that helps you to live in a more connected way.
Talk us through some of the other classes that you guys are currently offering.
So I'm a Jiva Mukti and an Ashtanga teacher. So we have a Mysore program here a couple days a week. And the Ashtanga sequences are set sequences that you're working through. Then we also have a Jiva Mukti, I guess you could call it a program, but a bunch of Jiva Mukti classes. And we have a cool new class starting called acupressure yoga, where the teacher is going to talk through meridians and acupressure points. We have a bunch of vinyasa classes from teachers in all different vinyasa styles. So we're trying to offer lots of options for everyone, but we tend to mostly focus on Jivamukti and Ashtanga yoga.
Talk us through some of the art stuff, because I know, like, just in my past, I was doing a little bit of, like, I went to a few painting things with my kids, and I found that to be really like a great way to bond with my kids, but also kind of take my mind off of what was going on at the time. So talk us through some of that.
The artwork that we have up with yoga philosophy and the themes, so that it isn't just some random thing where we're putting whatever we can find on the wall, but it really feels curated and connected to our mission as a studio. But it's also artwork that, there's plenty of artwork that's wonderful and very overtly about yoga, like chakra paintings and things like that. And I was trying to do something a little bit different than that and show work that maybe doesn't seem like it has anything to do with yoga, but when you think about it, it does.
Very cool, very cool. So I know the past, year and a half or almost 2 years now have been, super, super challenging. What were some of the skills and things that you have done to kind of get you through those dark times?
It's been a tough 2 years, and it just continues to be tough. But I'm actually really proud of my team and everyone who works here that we never shut. We just transitioned to virtual like right away. And I am not the most technical person in the world, so it wasn't very easy, but we figured it out really quickly and we got a Zoom account going. And so we never had any time off. We just transitioned to all virtual classes. And then there were various times we were able to reopen and various times we had to shut. But one of the silver linings of all of this was that I had been with another software provider, and about, a year ago, a little more than that, I just thought, this is crazy. I'm paying them so much. I can't reach them on the phone. And they really don't have the virtual capacities that I need and capabilities that I need. So one of the silver linings was I switched to Wellness Living in order to get FitGrid and have a virtual library. So that's gone really well and been a huge help. So we really appreciate that.
And I know, we're so fortunate, because one of the first things that we did during that pandemic was we completely changed around our product roadmap. We did do an integration with Zoom, which was, phenomenal. And we also built out FitVID, which is our video online hosting service. So really, really amazing. And I got the pleasure of actually trying out one of your classes yesterday on the on-demand stuff, and that was really wonderful.
Oh, I'm so glad. Yeah, it's been great having the FitVID library. It's really helpful to be able to point people towards that resource, and I'm so glad you could take it. Thank you.
Yeah, very cool. And I know one of the really cool things that we've done recently, actually released something called FitLIVE. You don't need a Zoom account. You could do it right all within Wellness Living. And the great part is, after that class or session is up, you can set it up so that it automatically records to your FitVID library. So it saves you that step of having to, download the video locally, and then you have to wait and then upload and all of that. So I know a lot of businesses out there like yourselves where maybe there's a little bit of hesitation in the beginning of switching software platforms, ton of data, ton of client history, and they're afraid of that transition process. Describe how that transition process was for you and how onboarding went.
I thought it went really well, and it was really easy. I worked with Casey, and she was great. And then we had a special dedicated onboarding specialist named Kim, and she just talked us through everything. Everything I needed got exported and transported over. So I was really stressed out about it and very afraid about it, that it was all going to go awfully and we'd lose everything, but everything just migrated on over. And then customer service was amazing. So any kind of little weird glitches, it's really easy to get a hold of them on the phone, which is not obviously the case with some other software providers. It was actually really painless and really easy. And I really appreciate the customer service. It's crucial.
Awesome. Yeah, I love to hear that, because I know how hard the team works here, and we like to consider ourselves, our tagline is the software company with a heart, because we truly like care. This is your livelihoods are at stake here. Our platform is what runs your entire business. We're the operating system of your business. Tell us more about sort of like your goals for the next 2-3 years. Where do you see yourself, your studio?
One of my goals would be maybe to find a larger space, but to keep offering. I really enjoy teaching private lessons. I feel like as a teacher, it's so exciting and fun to work with a student one-on-one and see them progress. So I'm hoping that we can kind of grow that aspect of the business even more, and maybe we can get back to doing some retreats and things like that.
And just going back to the software, is there any other thing that really kind of stands out in your mind as, hey, this is really a really standout feature in the software?
My favorite thing, which is maybe not that fancy of a feature to you, but I really love that you can edit a class. So say I have a class and I'm a Jivamukti teacher. So if someone's subbing my class who's not a Jivamukti teacher, I'm supposed to call it a vinyasa class, right? And I can change the title, I can change how many people are allowed to come, I can change the time, just for that one class, which is incredible.
We wanted to make sure that you guys, have that tool, and now we've even expanded that tool where you can actually send them a text message if you want to, even go directly to their phone. Or if you're using the Achieve client app, you can send them a push notification. You can do that as well.
Great.
And we love hearing this feedback, because it just makes us work that much harder to make you guys, even better features and stuff. So,
thank you.
Yeah, this has been awesome. I love talking, and it was an amazing conversation. And Bristol, thank you so much for being on today's edition of the CEO Tour. And thank you all out there for tuning in and watching. Make sure that you like and subscribe this video, and make sure that if you're in Providence, that you check out Bristol. It's Jala Yoga and Art. Amazing place, amazing class. The class that I sampled was an intro class. You might want to try something a little harder. For me, it was perfect. I got a sweat out of it. Amazing workout, and I still feel great today. So 2 thumbs up. So thank you guys again.